When a suspect removes a body, scrubs a crime scene, and eliminates witnesses, traditional investigations often hit a dead end. Without physical evidence, authorities have nowhere to start. But those dead ends are disappearing. Even when perpetrators manage to erase their actions in the physical world, they leave behind gigabytes of digital memory in the devices they drop, abandon, or forget. Investigators use open-source intelligence to break these cases wide open. They extract location data from a single blurry frame, isolate specific background engine noise, and map out stray pixels to rebuild a timeline of events. When the physical world is scrubbed clean, the data left on a discarded hard drive remains, serving as a direct link to a past someone tried to erase. In 2014, a passenger in a Fiji taxi picked up an abandoned cell phone from the back seat. Checking the camera roll, they found a 10-minute video shot from the deck of a ship, capturing a group of men in the water being systematically shot and killed. Tracking a crime on the open ocean presents a massive logistical hurdle. The water provides zero geographic landmarks, and by the time anyone watched the footage, the suspect vessel had completely vanished. The Outlaw Ocean Project launched an investigation, bypassing the ocean itself to focus on the background of the video. Looking past the violence, they spotted 4 other fishing vessels operating on the horizon. Analysts cross-referenced the hull markings and deck structures visible in those few frames against global maritime databases. They identified the filming ship as the Pingshin 101, a vessel sailing under a Taiwanese flag. A ship in international waters falls under the jurisdiction of its flag country. Pressed by the discovery, Taiwanese authorities issued a statement claiming the victims were Somali pirates who fired first, making the massacre an act of self-defense. A closer examination of the original video dismantled that narrative. The victims were clinging to debris that didn't match typical pirate skiffs, and they carried no firearms. They were unarmed local fishermen attempting to ward off a foreign fleet illegally poaching in their waters. Authorities attempted to bury the massacre entirely. That 10-minute clip extracted from a lost phone bypassed their cover-up, serving as the sole proof of an illegal maritime execution. In April 2012, firefighters responded to a house fire in North Bend, Washington, only to discover the bodies of Lynette and Ken Keller inside. The fire was set to cover up their murders, and the primary suspect, the husband and father, Peter Keller, was missing. Detectives located a safe inside the charred home containing hard drives that survived the blaze. They held dozens of video diaries Peter had recorded over 8 years, chronicling his construction of a heavily fortified underground survival bunker. The videos indicated Peter planned to hide inside this bunker for months. Based on his driving routes, investigators knew it was somewhere in the Cascade Mountains, leaving them with 30 to 40 miles of rugged, completely overgrown terrain to search. Sifting through the files, analysts isolated a single split-second blurry frame. It was a photograph taken from inside the bunker's entrance, pointing out through the trees toward the distant horizon. This topographical map illustrates how investigators decoded that single frame. They identified distant power lines visible in the background of the image and plotted their exact path across the valley. By aligning that electrical grid with the distinct roofline of the North Bend premium outlets, seen miles away in the photo, they generated an intersecting coordinate. This narrowed the vast mountain range down to a specific 4-mile search radius. Peter Keller spent nearly a decade building an untraceable hideout in the wilderness, yet his compulsion to document his own criminal preparations handed SWAT teams the exact coordinates required to locate him. Beyond tracking suspects across vast distances, found footage provides a verifiable record that exists independently of internet conspiracies and chaotic events. In December 2019, an eyewitness reported seeing an SUV launch off a massive cliff along California's Highway 1. When responders checked the drop-off, the jagged rocks and violent surf had swallowed the vehicle, leaving zero physical wreckage behind. A dashcam from the witness's car captured the vehicle going airborne. When people online claimed the footage of the disappearing car was a deepfake, forensic analysts verified the file, proving a driver had actually vanished into the ocean in broad daylight. Digital records also document the exact timelines of human intent. In 1996, police discovered 22 hours of tapes belonging to Ricardo Lopez, detailing his 9-month psychological decline as he built a sulfuric acid bomb intended for the singer Bjork. Sometimes, the footage records the timeline of a systemic failure. In 2019, dashcam footage from a stolen car captured a driver amid a severe psychotic episode, tearing through a residential neighborhood before fatally crushing a man at a bus stop. The driver had been released from prison less than 24 hours earlier. The clear video record of his rampage forced investigators to review his file, revealing he had set fires in his cell and attacked staff, red flags the prison board overlooked when granting his early release. From the destructive power of a coastal drop to the quiet delusion of a stalker, unfiltered digital footage anchors events in reality, removing our reliance on subjective human memory. Found footage is no longer just a tool for fiction. It has become a mechanism for establishing facts when physical proof has been lost or destroyed. This evidence forces real-world consequences. The cliffside dashcam pressured California transportation officials to install safety barriers along Highway 1, and the Fiji video compelled a maritime court to convict a ship captain for human rights abuses at sea. As high-definition cameras are integrated into dashboards, doorbells, and pockets, the ability to destroy a physical crime scene and walk away unnoticed is rapidly shrinking. Every discarded microSD card or forgotten phone holds the potential to recover a reality that was meant to be buried.